I think I tested the volume. Everything is okay on my end, and we will make a start. First of all, my apology for the few minutes late due to technology issues. We all sorted. Very warm welcome. Very good afternoon to all of you. Those who don't know me, I'm Charan Sekhon, Chair SEVA Trust UK. On behalf of SEVA Trust UK, I would like to thank you being with us today. Much appreciated. I know weekend, everyone is busy, so we're really grateful to all of you for being with us today. So today's session in two parts. Part one is about COVID-19 challenges and issues, especially for the international students, overseas Indian students. And part two is our trustees meeting. When we finish part one, we will request everyone to log out, and then we will carry on with our trustees annual meeting after that. Those who may not know the SEVA Trust, we have been working on many educational projects in India for the last 5-6 years. And I'm very pleased to welcome our trustees team from India as well. And all the volunteers who joined in today. And also I can see a lot of students, a number of students from different universities. I can see a few students from Cranfield, University of Hertfordshire, even University of Wolverhampton as well. So a lot of international students, especially Indian students, whom we had an opportunity to interact with or support in any way in the past 1 year. So warm welcome to all of you, and thank you. And also I'm really pleased to welcome from the Indian High Commission and Anima ji, and Anima Barnwal. She is the first secretary for ITOU, which is Income Tax Overseas Unit, and also Education and Economic Wing. Very warm welcome to Anima ji. And also I understand Gagan Sabarwa will be joining us a bit later. Gagan is the BBC World Service South Asia correspondent. She has done a number of reports on student issues, and she has spoken to many universities. And also I understand Anmol is joining us. Anmol is the UK Europe reporter for PTC International Sky 7699. Both Anmol and Gagan, they have done a lot of reports on Indian issues in the UK. So before we make a start, just a couple of quick housekeeping announcements. Please keep your microphone on mute. So मेरी सभी से ये निवेदन है कि आप कृपया अपना जो माइक्रोफोन है उसको म्यूट पर लगा लीजिए. और दूसरा, second request is that the event is being recorded and also live streamed on Facebook. So I request all speakers please not to include any sensitive information. So if you got any queries, please feel free to post it, and we will take care of that. So not to include any sensitive information in this session. So the first speaker is Brtizer Paul. Paul is a research student at the University of Bedfordshire. He's doing his PhD on organ donation. Paul originally from Tamil Nadu, and he is living in Luton last 1 year. He is one of our support coordinators. So we liaise with Paul and a lot of students on a regular basis through him. So over to you, Paul. If you can unmute.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Charan, for that introduction. I am Brtizer Paul, and I'm one of the volunteers at SEVA Trust UK. So I'm here to give a glance about a year of journey in international student support. So to begin with, as we all know, the lockdown began on 23rd of March 2020. And SEVA Trust pitched in right immediately on 25th of March 2020, because due to a lot of issues around international students, because most of the international students for their living and for their rent were dependent on their part-time jobs. And most of the students has lost their part-time job, and which affected them in their food management and also to manage their rent issues. So After consulting students from various areas around us, we felt that there is a need in Bedford, Luton, Milton Keynes, Hatfield, and Cranfield. So we had a talk with the students to understand what they really need. Because students gave a issue saying that though they had food banks around the place where they live, they are mostly taken care by people of that community, but they had meat and food items that certain community people do not eat. So that was, though the service was there, it was not well much used by the student because of certain issues. So understanding those issues, we tried to make we made a list of food that Indian students do eat. So we made a common list of items that everyone can have. Based on that, we put all our provisions in 4 different hub locations. We had 2 hubs in Bedford, one at Luton and one at Milton Keynes. And from there, we had students like taking the food items. For example, in Luton, uh, we had a hub which was taken care by Elasha, and there was a student in the town center who was Kirti. This the food items from the hub was taken from the hub to the town center and kept at Kirti's house because of the accessibility issue for the students, so that students can come to the easy accessible area and collect the food items. So this is how we made sure that we do not trouble the students also while doing the service. And that is how we did. And through this service, we were able to provide for more than 650 international students, more than 250 families, 50 plus homeless and rough sleepers, and also a group of vulnerable women in a temporary accommodation. So how did we get this going? Like, we made an invitation initially, and we made sure that it goes through every media like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also various other WhatsApp groups where Indian students are there and Indian community groups, so that this word can reach out to the needy. And through that, we were able to get the word out. And there were a lot of people who came, students and families who came back to us and share their need there. So then we were able to arrange and give food items to students who were in need. Uh, there were a lot of students who came back to us and gave us a lot of testimonies, sharing their thanks to Seva Trust and organization and all the volunteers. So, for example, we have people from Cranfield who said that after they got in touch with Seva Trust, they were comfortable, and there was no fear that they would run out of food or they will be hungry, because they were provided with food which would sustain for two weeks, and also they also got hot meals. So they felt that comfortable, and they felt that someone is there to take care of them. And also in Luton, students were like, there were a lot of students who were benefited in Luton, and they came again giving a lot of testimonials, and they said their thanks to Seva Trust. And also there was few students who said that though they received um, help from Seva Trust, they were also willing to support as a volunteer. So they were also motivated to be in service to others, which was very nice to see from them. And also from Hatfield, there were students like in Hatfield where not just food, but we were also able to support them in their rent payment extension, because due to lockdown, they were not able to give the rent on time. So through Seva Trust, we were able to talk to the landlords and arrange for extension dates so that they could somehow manage to get the rents done. So these were the ways that we were helping students around and families around, both in food means and also helping them in their rent extension. And during this journey, it was not just concentrated on these 5 areas that I mentioned earlier, but we also had people reaching out from Manchester and all, because this information has reached to many. And we were in somehow able to connect them to other groups who were in that area to be supported. And it was a wonderful opportunity for me to be in service of others during this time. And I'm so grateful to be a part of Seva Trust UK. Thank you.
Yes, many thanks, Paul. Much appreciated. And again, thanks for all your help. As we all appreciate that, the challenging times, and even the universities alone cannot cannot support students because the issue was so big, and the numbers were really high. I can also see on screen Dr. Opinderjit from University of Wolverhampton. She's the director for Sikh and Punjabi studies there. A warm welcome. And I know Opinder has done a lot of work in the course of last 6-7 months. A lot of students facing hardship. If we move on to the next item, which is a report by Channel 4. Probably you may have already seen it. Channel 4 visited Bedford and Luton, and they spent nearly a day talking to a lot of students and also looking at the work SEVA Trust is doing. So if we can just quickly move to that clip, and following that clip, we will basically share some proposals in response to some of the issues being faced by international students, especially the Indian students. So Heema, if you can play the Channel 4 news report clip, please. And I think you are on mute.
The international students who found themselves stuck in lockdown and forced to learn only online, with no part-time work available to earn money and no access to benefits there.
All the very best. Let us take good care of yourself, yeah?
But it isn't just food that's needed, support too, to fight against universities demanding fees, threatening to kick students out.
Hiya.
One of those people is Manoj. We meet him at the window of his student accommodation in Luton.
Hello.
Hello, I thought I was better than shouting. He's in day 5 of isolation after catching COVID-19. How's it going? Oh, yeah, good. His parents' farm in India took a huge hit during the pandemic, and so he asked his university if he could delay the remaining third of fees he owed, as his family had used it to live off. But the University of Bedfordshire refused, instead threatening that they may withdraw him from the course, take legal action, and report into immigration, who they warned could cancel his visa.
The university asked me for my tuition fees and give me a threatening mail. This thing will be happen. So I'm totally confused and I'm depressed.
What would you say to those people who say, if you didn't have that money, then that's not the university's fault?
At that time, I have money. If my parents save for me, the situation is different when lockdowns happen and this COVID-19 coming. I came here for a dream, like I never
The university eventually agreed to smaller repayments and gave him some money from the hardship funds after the SEVA Trust intervened. The University of Bedfordshire told us,
Mr. Manoj came to us in the early months of lockdown when our financial processes were still evolving in response to the pandemic. He was one of the students that highlighted the need for change. We are pleased now to have a more flexible approach to emergency funding. We understand the distress the initial delay would have caused. We urge all students who are struggling to get in contact with us.
cases like Manoj's have kept the SEVA Trust busy this year. They've dealt with several universities sending threats of immigration to international students struggling to pay fees.
A lot of students, suffer in silence. They don't want anyone to find out that they're going to this hard. I think universities should take more responsibility and also need to treat overseas students in the same way they treat home students.
Last week, we heard from international students who have become destitute and relying on food banks while studying in the UK during the pandemic. Since our report, some universities have contacted the food bank to help, and the University of East London sent an email reassuring students not to panic if they can't pay their fees on time. But we've heard cases of universities elsewhere in the country who are still threatening international students for late payment of fees. Sola is the third-year medical student at the University of Nottingham. The pandemic affected her parents' business in Indonesia, and so she struggled to pay her £43,000 a year fees. Despite having an online exam this week, the university threatened to cut off her IT access if she didn't pay.
I'm already under immense stress for this UK can clearly see that from their attitude, that they don't care what the student's current state of mind even is at. They just, kind of fling around these threats. We're being treated like cash machines.
The only reason Solar is still at uni is because her friends started a GoFundMe to keep her online for now. She said universities could be more understanding. Students are while learning online.
Why do they need to so sternly reprimand me? Remember, you have to pay, or we are going to restrict your IT. They're talking to me as if I'm intentionally not paying, as if I'm out here cash, and I'm like, hey, it's not like I'm thinking in world class learning experience.
The University of Nottingham say it has a range of measures in place to support students who have been financially impacted by the pandemic and continue to offer international students the pandemic has taken away family income, in-person learning, and left them isolated away from home. But on top of all of that, threats from university finance departments for money they don't have, and fears that their dream of a British education might be short-lived.
Okay, thanks, Heema. As you can see, this issue for international students is not confined to a single university. It's a widespread issue. And also the scale of problems, the isolation, the food issues, job losses, a lot of very serious issues for the students. So at least here in Bedfordshire, these 4 or 5 universities, we have worked very closely with all those universities. We wanted to make sure that we liaise with the management, and also we work together because we appreciate that universities are trying their best to help students. So if I request Heema Chauhan, she is another support coordinator for SEVA Trust. Heema just completed her master's from Glenfield University, and we supported Heema and a number of other students at the university. And she came back to us saying that in difficult time we have supported her, and she want to give something back. And since then she has joined our volunteer group, and she is managing the students, one of the coordinators for managing the student sports program. And we discussed this issue with a lot of students and have come up with some ideas how we can put what you call short, medium, and long-term plans, because this issue is going to carry on. Obviously the lockdown probably will be extended, but a number of coming months students will still face problems. So if I request Heema to give an update of the kind of pilot project we are hoping to start from today, which is about adopting a student. Over to you, Heema. If you can unmute, please.
Thank you so much, Charan. So as Paul mentioned earlier, whatever SEVA Trust have done till now, and what all issues SEVA Trust have addressed, what are challenges students, international students in particular, are facing because of the whole pandemic, we decided to come up with a pilot project called Adopt an Indian Student. But why we should do that? Why adopt an Indian student? So challenges that were faced by the students during the lockdown, the main 2 challenges were that students are losing their part-time jobs. As a result of that, they are facing a lot of financial problems. Whenever an international student come here in the UK, their main finance is taken care by doing part-time jobs, say paying their bills, be it rent or other groceries, or any other things. So their basic essentials and livelihood is taken care by they doing part-time here. On the other hand, also because of lockdown, all of us are in isolation. Now, since these students are here far from their home, anyways, they cannot meet their family. And in addition to that, they cannot meet their friends also because of the isolation. And that has affected their mental health and emotional well-being a lot. So just in order to counter all these challenges, what we came up is with the idea of adopting an Indian student. So how it works is, first, we will be doing the initial screening of the student, ensuring that the student who actually is in the need gets support and not otherwise. Once the initial screening of the student has been done, then we will be searching the interested families, the families who are really willing to come forward and help these students, support these students. Once we have families and students at place, then we will be going with the cultural connect. Now, this is the new concept that we will be introducing in this project. What is cultural connect? For example, if a student is from, say, Madhya Pradesh, then we will be trying that the family who is going to adopt the student is from Madhya Pradesh. If the student is from Maharashtra, then the adopting family will be from Maharashtra. So it will be same state. Why cultural connect is essential, why it is required? Because the culture, the atmosphere of the family that the family will be sharing and the student will be having will be similar. For instance, if I'm from Gujarat and if I meet a family who is from Gujarat as well, I can connect with them based on the same regional topics. I can talk with them in my regional language. I can be more emotional and be more open with them compared to maybe meeting a family from Kerala or Madhya Pradesh or any other state of India. So that is why here cultural connect, we have ensured that the same state, student and family has been connected. Going further, what is the project going to do? It is going to be 1 or 2 fresh hot meal every week. And on top of that, basic essentials and groceries will be given to the student. Now, both of these things are during that we are going to ensure that the students' dietary requirements are met. If the student is vegetarian, then the student is provided all the essential vegetarian groceries and vegetarian hot meal. If the student is non-vegetarian, then like that. So that is there. In case the family do not want to say give groceries, or if the family is not able to travel or deliver, the family can directly give £15 to either student or SEVA Trust UK for the weekly expenses, or say for the weekly grocery expenses of the student. This will again help the student to, this will also decrease the financial burden from the student, particularly on the point of view of groceries, which is considered to be the basic essential for any individual. As Charan already mentioned, I have been part of the Fresh Hot Meal program last year, and I myself found it very useful. I was able to focus on my studies because I don't need to take care of, okay, what I'm going to cook today. Oh, I don't have groceries. Where will I go and buy all those things? Because I also don't have money and time. So that have helped me as a student at that time. And I strongly believe that if we implement this project again, it will help more students as well. Yeah, thank you.
That's great. Thanks so much, Heema. Last year, we ran a mini project. I'm really thankful to our local organizations, especially the Sheetal Shirdi Temple Association and Shri Guru Ravidas Sabha Bedford, and most recently Guru Nanak Gurdwara Bedford, and also Satya Sai Center, Milton Keynes, and of course Indian women group Bandhan. Bandhan has been instrumental in supporting us and providing us a lot of the volunteers. The one of their key volunteers, Heema, she has been supporting us, and she's supposed to share some of our views, but unfortunately there's another event going just started online for Bandhan, so all those volunteers ladies have to leave. So my sincere thanks to all these organizations, and again we worked collectively with these organizations, and we fully appreciate that universities cannot alone tackle this problem, and Indian High Commission alone, even the government alone cannot tackle this problem. So all the communities, organizations, we have to play our part and take some responsibility. Keeping that in mind, so we have come up with this the idea. We have also written a paper on that, which we will share widely, that if we start rolling out this adopt a student program, in parallel to the universities giving grants, the government providing their support packages. And the key issue for us was, as Heema highlighted, the well-being and emotional support. A lot of students were just on their own in isolation. And if we connect them with a local family, that will be like their guardians, and the student will have someone, a local contact. So we are working on it, and we will definitely share more details with universities and also with the Indian High Commission. So many thanks, Heema, for your wonderful support. And moving on, you saw the clip, Channel 4. There was a student, Manoj. Manoj contacted us last year. He was going through very challenging situation. I know we are running a bit late, so if we can give us just 5 minutes, and we will conclude in next 5 to 7 minutes. If I can ask Manoj, if he's online, if you can please unmute, and if you want to share your views. Manoj is doing MSc at the University of Bedfordshire in computer science. Over to you, Manoj.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I'm really thankful to SEVA Trust to help me a lot different ways. When I came in UK last year, 2020 in March, as a lockdown situation, and I don't know what to do and how to deal with the situation. Like I have to pay my rent and university fees as well. So in this case, SEVA Trust UK helped me to pay my fees with the university, like giving me an easy payment plan, and also help me for pay my rent here, and give me groceries and food. This is very good help, and I'm really thanks to Charan to help me to get me out of this situation. And I would like to request the Indian High Commission to issue a helpline number for Indian students, especially because they don't know how to deal in this situation, how to contact with whom, so they can get help. But in SEVA Trust, सेवा ट्रस्ट जो है वो अभी लाइक कभी सभी स्टूडेंट्स के साथ नहीं खड़ी हो सकती जैसे वो मेरे साथ थी, तो इसके लिए इजी है कि अगर कोई हेल्पलाइन नंबर इशू हो जिससे स्टूडेंट कनेक्ट कर सकें डायरेक्टली हाई कमीशंस को, तो वो ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा.
Thank you so much, Manoj. And I know your university has increased the grant system they have. After we intervened, we liaised with the director of student supports experience, and also I had some correspondence with the deputy vice chancellor for your university, and I would like to thank the deputy vice chancellor for his support as soon as we made him aware, and he definitely took prompt steps on that. So my thanks to university as well. Now I think we have Sonic on the line, Sonic Ray. Sonic is from Calcutta, and he is doing his bachelor degree at Hatfield, University of Hertfordshire. I'm not sure if Sonic is logged on. Okay, moving on. Again, with Sonic, the situation was obviously the accommodation. The university sent him a threatening letter. He was at the university accommodation saying that you have to pay the rental fee. They didn't have income at that time, so we liaised with the university. And as you know, a lot of contractors work for the universities to sort out the accommodation. Sometimes it's not within the control of universities when it comes to the accommodation. Again, we managed to find a successful solution for that, and the university did agree a payment plan in his case. And finally, I will request Rajiv Sachdeva ji, our volunteer from London. Rajiv ji is helping us on health, well-being, and yoga side. A lot of students mention the mental health, well-being issues. So not only we have helped the students on providing them food, and we also helping them on an emotional well-being side as well. We got online classes going on. So I request Rajiv ji to briefly outline the efforts being made on that front. Over to you, Rajiv ji, if you can please unmute.
Thanks, Charan ji. Yeah, what a remarkable work that SEVA Trust is doing. I must appreciate that. And good afternoon to everyone. Everybody knows that we are going through a most challenging time in the history due to the COVID pandemic. And regardless of the age, gender, religion, or location, it has affected pretty much everyone. And one of the biggest challenge is to look after our well-being, mental well-being, especially for old people and those who are away from their families because of studies, could be because of jobs or other commitments. I mean, guys have already explained. And during this difficult time, SEVA Trust has done an excellent job by providing them a platform to improve inner well-being of anyone who wants to participate, like regardless of the location and regardless of background. So whether here in the Bedford region or anywhere across UK, who wanted to take benefit of that. And SEVA Trust, in association with the National Yoga Charities, have been running free online yoga classes twice a week, Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 7, and Saturday morning from 7 to 8:30 for anyone from any community to take benefit of yoga. And we have about 35 plus registered users who take participation regularly, who join yoga sessions. And we also organize specialized talks by doctors on general health improvements, which again, if they are registered, they are free to come and take benefit of that. The classes will be keep on running these classes until end of April, and then we will be reviewing again for the next phase, how we want to carry on. I would encourage everyone to come forward and join and take the benefits of yoga, how it helps your inner well-being and your mental well-being, especially when you're away from families. You need social connect as well, cultural connect that the lady has explained earlier. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity for people to take that benefit that SEVA Trust is offering free, no charges, of course. And for registration, if any of you or any of your friend wants to connect, you can WhatsApp me on number that I'm going to tell. I'm going to put it on chat, but and then you can connect me via WhatsApp, and I'll add you. Thanks, everyone. Wish you good luck again for all the hard work that SEVA Trust is doing. Thanks.
Many thanks, Rajiv ji, and many thanks for coming forward to be volunteer with us. And moving on, I think we will conclude the session. We have just a very short, about I think 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes clip on the work the SEVA Trust have delivered and some of the messages. And before we conclude, then I will invite Anima ji just to have some comments or any views in relation to the work Indian High Commission is putting forward, and after that we will conclude the session. So if we can play the clip first, and then we will request Anima ji to be on standby after the clip. Volume.
I'm so happy with the support I received, and I wish them all success in future work. And once again, I thank SEVA Trust. On the daily basis, they give us the food, and it's really very delicious and very good and hygienic and for health, and I really appreciate them. SEVA Trust बहुत जेड़ा सेवा कर रहे हैं उनका बेस्ट Is there a significant number of students in your area that you had to reach out to
have to divert from it, focus on critical medical.
This funding is making a huge difference because we have no paid staff in our charity, and all of the funding is being used to help needy communities of Bedford who have been identified from schools and the difficult time that everyone is going through. So it's being used very well. Say much else more in terms of the volunteers.
Now, this time round and previous times, without them, we would have been stuck. But big thank you. Now, I'm good.
To normality. Thank you very much to everyone who's
That's great. Thank you. And my apology for the sound. I think there was some issues about the sound. As you can see, the work all of us are doing with support of a lot of community groups is not confined to students alone. We are working with Bedfordshire, wider, diverse communities, elderly, women, families, and so on. And again, it's all possible due to the huge support by community groups. The other thing I want to add is, in our charity SEVA Trust, we got no paid staff at all. All the volunteers, everyone connected to NGO, all of us are unpaid volunteers. So that's another reason that whenever someone is donating anything, it goes 100% towards the cause, not to managing the charity, not to give anyone salaries, not to take any allowances. So it's a pure seva in the concept given to us by Guru Nanak, which is to help others. So I'm so grateful for all the organizations and all the volunteers to making it possible. And before we conclude the session, I'll request Anima ji from the Indian High Commission. I know last year we have worked very closely with Indian High Commission on the student issues. And because we're going through third lockdown, and this issue has become bigger now, at the same scale what we saw last summer, I think we need to take some steps on that. So over to you, Anima ji, if you can please unmute.
Thank you, Charan ji, and good afternoon, everyone. Last year was really a tough time for all of us, and we were suddenly taken by storm by the pandemic, and a lot of Indian students and people of Indian origin got stuck in the UK. But the High Commission tried to do the best we could, and we did start a large number of programs, and we reached out to organizations such as SEVA Trust. SEVA Trust was one of the organizations that stood by us when we were trying to reach out and help people who got stranded here. And I thank SEVA Trust for that. We did, as Manoj had suggested, we did have emergency call lines at the time between March and September. I myself handled one of the emergency line, and believe me, I got more than 100 calls every day, and it was a very, very difficult time, emotionally challenging, financially challenging. And we could do what we could with the Vande Bharat mission and everything. And I would really like to thank all the organizations and SEVA Trust UK for doing very, very commendable work for students and the people who got stuck in the UK. Now, of course, we are in the third lockdown, and the Indian High Commission is there. It's standing by for everyone who needs help. Please do write to us. My email address is itou.london@mea.gov.in. Charanji also has my email address. He can share it with whosoever would like to come in touch with us. Please do write to us if you have any help that you want from us. We would always be there to help everyone out. Thank you so much.
Many thanks, Anima ji. And yes, I echo what you said. Last year, it was really tough time, really challenging time. You had a lot of fronts to handle, student issues, tourists got stuck here. Then we got a lockdown here, and also the flights issue as well. And I appreciate all the efforts because I know a lot of officers, DP Singh ji, yourself, a number of other officers who are working 24/7. And thanks so much for your support. I think moving on again, we will share the proposals with yourself and see collectively how we can carry on supporting our students here. So on that note, thank you everyone. And my sincere apology, we have run 15 minutes late. Sorry about that, probably fault on my planning. Next year I need to improve. And also, before we conclude, I would like to thank Dr. Opinderjit ji for the information of all the listeners. Dr. Opinderjit ji has joined SEVA Trust as our national advisor, and we really welcome her to SEVA Trust, and we really look forward working with her because I know she does a lot of work on community and charitable side in addition to education. So huge thanks to Opinderjit for her support. If you got any questions, any queries, please do email us info@sevatrustuk.org. I repeat, info@sevatrustuk.org. Please do connect with us on social media via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also we have started now the YouTube channel, SEVA Trust. Again, we are involving a lot of universities, and we will be doing more work, not only just for education side, but other aspects as well, putting forward long-term, medium-term support for the students and building our long-term relationship. And the other idea is we will probably create a network. Anytime this kind of scenario happens in future, we will have the list of organizations and the network is ready to act on that. So once again, my sincere thanks to everyone, and thanks to Paul and Heema. And Heema, before we conclude, if you can give the control back to me for the meeting, and I can request everyone to log out, and all the trustees and also trustees from India, please stay online, and we will start our annual formal meeting. So thank you so much. Many thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.